So if you want to come to lie on your back with your feet flat on the ground. Imagine there's a string at the crown of your head pulling you upward. Elongate your tailbone down so the small of your back rests against the mat. And place your hands wherever they're comfortable. They can be on your chest, on your belly, on the ground, on the mat, up above your head. Just get in a spot where you feel comfortable. We're going to be here for a few minutes. And we're going to start by gently just elongating your exhales, making your breaths out a little bit longer than your breaths in. And as you do that, feel your body relax. Feel yourself melting into the ground. Feel the day melt away. Do a quick scan of your back. See if there's any place you're holding tension. Maybe the back of your neck, maybe your jaw, maybe your shoulders, your hips or glutes, shins, thighs, feet. You can inhale your toes up into the air and then exhale them back down onto the mat. While you're sitting here, melting into the floor, relaxing into the ground, letting everything around you fade away. See if you can bring your hands together at heart center. We're going to do a light Reiki practice. So if you haven't washed your hands, you can do that. Go back to that string coming out of the top of your head, coming out of the crown of your head. And see if maybe that string transforms into a bright white light. And that white light is maybe not radiating from your head so much as pouring down into your head. That white light washes down your whole body, filling you up as you inhale. Imagine each inhale is filling your body a little bit more with that white light. Maybe you can visualize it reaching into your toes, into your fingertips, down, out through your back, reaching into the ground. And while you're visualizing that, on your inhales, I want you to repeat in your mind, just for today. And then we'll add some statements to the exhales. So we'll inhale just for today. I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Inhale just for today. I will be thankful for my many possessions. Inhaling just for today. Exhaling, I will be kind. Inhaling just for today. I will work honestly. Just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will be thankful for my many possessions. Just for today, I will be kind. Just for today, I will work honestly. And continue to breathe slowly and repeat one of those statements in your mind if you'd like. As we do that, I'm going to ask you just start gently rubbing those hands together, building friction in between your palms. Maybe you can see that white light again. Maybe it's warming up in your hand. Maybe it's not white, maybe it's red or blue. Maybe it's green or pink. Maybe it's a color that I can't even think of because it's your color. And when your hands are nice and warm and you feel that energy between them, we're just going to place them on the crown of the head. You can overlap the palms if you want. You can just place both hands at the top of your head. You can switch the position of your hands to get that warmer hand on that spot. And then on your next inhale, you can bring your hands back to heart center. Give them a nice, gentle rubbing back and forth, building up that heat, building up that friction. When you feel like your palms are nice and warm, you can place those hands either on your forehead or over your eyeball, or both. And just breathe here. Inhaling in all that energy. Exhaling out any bad thoughts from today, or this week, or this month, or this year. Then on your next inhale, you can bring your hands to heart center again. Go ahead and rub those palms together back and forth. Feel that heat and friction. This time we're going to take those palms and just rest them on your neck. Inhale any positivity, any energy. Exhale any negative communications that are plaguing you. For me, it's the dog barking in the background. Breathing here, bring your hands back to heart center. Vigorously rub those hands back and forth, building the heat between your palms. And then rest those hands on your heart. Inhale all the love and kindness you can. Exhale all the fear and hate. On your next inhale, bring your hands back to heart center. You can rub your palms, get that nice gentle heat energy. When you're ready, just place them on your diaphragm right under your ribs, your solar plexus. And just inhale any positive thoughts, any complimentary self ego boost. Ego's the wrong word. Exhale out any ego. Inhale in any positivity. Bring your hands back to heart center. Rub those palms together, building that heat and energy between them. You can come down and place them just below your belly button. Inhale any feelings of groundedness and security. Focusing on the bottom of the tailbone, the pelvic floor, and just below the belly button. Let feelings of warmth and security and safeness wash over you. You release your hands whenever you're comfortable with them. Return your breath to anything normal, whatever you consider to be normal, regular breathing. And gently open your eyes. We'll start by hugging the knees into the chest. And you can gently rock back and forth, giving yourself a little back massage. You can roll forward and back if you'd like to roll up the spine. You can always release your knees and just circle them in big, wide circles back and forth. And when you're ready, you can just come to center. Take a nice, big, deep inhale through your nostrils. And on your exhale, extend your legs and arms up into the air. And just sway back and forth with your legs and your arms. If you want, you can feel like seaweed floating in the waves. Just gentle, gentle, gentle. When you've had enough, you can hug your knees back into your chest, or roll all the way onto one side into child's pose. You can help yourself any way you need to. For child's pose, you can have your knees together. They can be wide apart, whatever you prefer, whatever's most comfortable for you. This should be a resting pose. If this doesn't feel restful to you, please make any adjustments you can. While you're here in child's pose, check in with your low back. See if you can elongate that tailbone down. Reach your sit bones to your heels. Tilt your neck forward so it's nice and gently relaxed, pulling that crown of the head towards the floor, elongating that spine as much as possible. And walk those fingers back. Go ahead and sit up on your heels in Vajrasana, or you can separate your feet and bring your bum down for Virasana if you'd like, or you can just flip your legs in front of you and sit cross-legged if that's more comfortable. Be here for a few minutes and bring your knees together if you can. Place your hands on your thighs, either palms down or palms up, whichever's most comfortable for you. Palms down for grounding, palms up for energizing. We'll take the peace fingers of our right hand, place them on your third eye or between your eyebrows. We'll take the thumb of that same hand and, nope, not doing that. Take the thumb to your one nostril, take your other two fingers to the left nostril. So we'll cover up the left nostril, inhale through the right. Nice big inhale, cover up that right nostril, uncover the left, exhale out through the left nostril. Inhaling here through the left nostril. Block off that left nostril, release the right. Exhale here. Inhale through the right nostril. Block it off, release the left nostril. Exhale out through the left nostril. Inhaling here. Close that nostril, release the right nostril. Exhale out through the right nostril.
Inhaling here. Blocking off the right, releasing the left nostril. Exhale. Inhaling here. Blocking off that left nostril, releasing the right. Exhaling. Inhaling here. Blocking off that nostril, releasing the left. Exhaling. Inhaling here. One last time, block off that left nostril. Exhale out through the right. Release your peace fingers from your forehead. Go back to inhaling and exhaling normally out through the nostrils. Notice if anything's changed, if anything feels different. Maybe it's easier to breathe out of your nostrils now. From here, we'll check in with the crown of the head. Imagine the string coming through the crown of the head again, pulling you nice and tall and long. Making that spine reach for the ceiling. On your next inhale, lift your arms in the air. Hands can come together above your head. Stare at your thumbs for the nice gentle back bend. Exhale, come back to center. Release your hands about hip or shoulder width distance apart. Breathing here. Reach your fingertips into the air. Exhale, melt those shoulders down the back, bringing the shoulder blades down. Inhale, reach the hands in the air. And then exhale, we'll come down to the right side, placing the right hand on the mat, reaching the left arm over top. You can shine that chest towards the ceiling to give yourself a nice little back bend, reaching in both sides of the side body here. See if you can have equal weight in both sit bones, equal weight in the tops of the feet. When you're ready, you can inhale back center. Exhale over to the left, placing that left hand on the mat, reaching that right arm over, shining that chest towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Equal weight in both the hips, both the sit bones. Maybe you want to pull that right hip down a little bit. And then inhale your arms back to center. We'll exhale, fold forward, almost to a child's pose. You can release your neck down and come fully into child's pose if you'd like. Breathing here. Letting that back body melt down. On your next inhale, we'll walk the fingers back. And put your hands on your hips. Face your elbows to the back. And just give yourself a nice little back bend by shining your chest forward and releasing your neck. On your next exhale, you can come back gently with your neck, release your hands, give yourself a little shake out. And then we'll come to sit on our bum, stretch the legs out in front of you. Give your knees a little shake back and forth if you'd like. You can remove the meat from your sit bones. Get them pressed nice into the mat. Imagine that string pulling up on your spine, nice and elongated. We'll inhale the arms up again. Hands together above your head. You can gaze at the thumbs for a slight back bend. On your next exhale, release the neck, release the hands so they're hips width distance apart, and then we'll come all the way down as far as you can. And grab onto your ankles, your shins, your feet, whatever you can reach. Just don't strain yourself too much. Elongate that spine. Pull that belly button towards the back. And on your next exhale, see if you can maybe fold a little bit deeper. Feet are flexed. Your next exhale, you can round your spine down, get all the length in you'd like. And gently walk your hands back up to a seated position. Give your knees a little shake out. We will take the right leg, keep it straight as it is, foot flex. Take the left leg over top the knee, foot over the knee. You can adjust the foot in if you'd like. Placing that right foot, left foot, onto the mat, nice and sturdy. Our left knee is above the right knee. Inhale your arm up, and then exhale, hook the right elbow around the left knee and twist to the back. Inhaling the spine nice and long into the air. Exhaling, twisting to the back. Inhaling that spine nice and long. Exhale, twist. Inhale your spine long. Exhale, twist to the back. And then we'll inhale a nice little counter twist to the other side. And exhale back to the center. Switch the crossing of the legs so that your right foot is placed onto the mat. Right knee over left knee. Left foot is flexed. Inhale your right arm up into the air. And exhale, twisting to the back. Sorry, I have my left and my right back. Hooking that left arm around the right knee. Right arm is behind you. Inhale your spine nice and long. Exhale, twist to the back. Inhale your spine long. Exhale, twist. Inhaling up. Exhale, twisting to the back. Inhale a nice little counter twist to the other side. And then exhale back to center. You can release your legs. Give your knees a little shake out. And we'll come to a tabletop position on your mat. All right, coming into tabletop, wrists are below shoulders, knees are below hips. Spine is as neutral as possible. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat here. Fingertips pressing into the mat below your shoulders. If I were to walk by you, I wouldn't be able to lift your fingers off the mat. Pressing into the ground with your feet, hands, and shins, making this very passive pose active. Elongating that spine, pulling the crown of the head forward, pulling the tailbone down. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll come into cow pose. Shine the chest forward, drop your udder down. Exhale, round in the back, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Option to tuck the toes under for cat. Inhale, cow, dropping the udder down, shining the chest forward. Exhale, cat, tucking the toes under, bringing the belly button towards the spine, rounding in the back. Inhale, cow. Tops of the feet down. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And continue doing this movement at your own pace, with your own breath, waking up the spine, waking up the shoulder girdle, waking up the ankles. You can introduce S and C curves in the spine. You can give yourself a nice wrist stretch by pointing those fingertips to the outside of the mat. You
You can also come down into a child's pose or up into a little half chaturanga if you'd like. Again, we're just waking up the spine. When you've had enough of that, you can come into a neutral spine. And we'll inhale the left arm into the air, twisting from the side body, opening up the chest towards the side. And then exhale, thread the needle under, coming into the outside edge of that left shoulder, walking the right hand out in front of you if you'd like. Breathing here. Option to take the right foot. Ooh, I'm gonna fall over. Let's try that again. Option to take the right foot back behind you to bring the stretch to a full body stretch. Bring that right knee down, walk that right hand back. Inhale that left arm back up into the air. Nice, gentle opening twist. You can exhale that left hand back down. Inhale the right arm up for a nice, gentle twist. Keeping those hips even, stretching and twisting from that mid-body. Exhale, we'll thread the arm under, coming into the outer edge of that right shoulder. Left hand can walk out in front. Left leg can come back behind if you'd like to make it a full body stretch. Didn't fall over that time. Spoke too soon, just kidding. Next exhale, you can bring that left leg down, walk the left hand back. Inhale the right arm back up into the air. Oh my God. I did speak too soon. Exhale that arm back down so you're in tabletop pose again. Breathing here, finding equal pressure in both your palms, equal pressure in your knees and the tops of the feet. We're going to inhale the knees off the mat, coming into as high a pose as you want. The higher your knees are in the air, the more the stretch is coming for the feet. So if you'd like to stretch your ankles, you can bring your knees down nice and low. On your next exhale, bring your knees back down to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes under here. Help them if they need. I have little bitty pinky toes. We're going to walk our hands back to the knees. You can come up into, I don't know, modified Vajrasana if you'd like. You can always bring your hands back down to the mat if it gets too painful or too much. Just breathe here, stretching out the bottoms of the feet, gripping those toes against the mat. Breathing here. We just can't take it anymore. We'll crawl back down to tabletop pose. Tuck those toes under and lift the knees again, this time all the way up into the air for downward facing dog. Inhaling the heels into the air. Exhaling, pulling them back down to the mat. Stretching in those calves, stretching in the back of the thighs. Pulling those hips towards the back corner of the room. Pressing into the ground with your hands. Breathing here. One big inhale through your nostrils. And on your exhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Inhaling in plank. One full exhale here. Inhaling one more time. And then exhale, pressing back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here in down dog. You can make this movement as big or as little as you'd like. You can move from your ankles to your knees, all the way up to your hips. When you're ready, you can step, or hop up to the front of the mat and bring your feet in between your hands. Relaxing into your first forward fold of the evening. Pulling that belly button towards the spine. Feeling the crown of the head stretch down towards the ground. Placing your hands on your shins. Inhale your spine, nice long flat back. And then exhale, fold forward. Option to grab opposite elbows here and rock back and forth, swaying from side to side. Another option you can try is interlacing your hands behind your back. And presses the top of your body towards the bottom. The other option is taking your peace fingers around your big toes. Nice strong yogi toe lock. And exhale, bend your elbows, pulling yourself down. If you're grabbing opposite elbows, go ahead and switch the crossing of your arms. If you've interlaced your fingers behind your back, you can put your weird thumb on top. Otherwise, just hang here for a few more seconds. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Release your arms wherever they are. Release your hands wherever they are. And slowly roll up to stand, putting vertebrae on vertebrae. Move that. Until you're standing in mountain pose at the front of your mat. Standing in mountain pose, feet are underneath hips, pressing into the bottom of the feet. Nice strong legs. Crown of the head is being pulled into the sky. Your spine is nice and long. Arms are active. Inhale your arms up into the air. Exhale, melt your shoulders down your back. Inhale, reach your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Hands on shins. Inhale, nice, long, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands. We'll bring that right leg back behind you. Go ahead and stay in low lunge here for a second. Check in with your hips. Make sure they're square towards the front of the mat. Maybe you want to bring your left hip back a little bit in space. Maybe that would make them more even. Pulling the crown of the head forward here, elongating that spine. Then we'll go ahead and plant that right hand on the mat. And inhale the left arm in the air for a nice gentle twist. Breathing here, maybe you feel that stretch in the outer left hip. Maybe you feel it in your arms and your chest or back. Breathing here. Exhale that left hand back down to the mat. Kick that back leg in about a foot. Straighten out the front leg. And we'll do a nice gentle runner's stretch. Again, check in with your hips in space. Maybe you want to pull that left hip back a bit. Maybe you'll feel the stretch more in the back of your front quad. Breathing here. We'll take this back leg and just bring it up to the front. So we're in a forward fold at the front of the mat again. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, and this time we'll kick that left leg back behind for a low lunge on this side. Check in with your thighs, check in with your hips, make sure your hips are square to the mat. Maybe you want to take that right hip back in space a little bit. And then we'll plant the left hand on the mat and bring the right one up for a nice gentle twist. Make sure that front knee is bent. Pull that hip back in space. You'll feel that stretch in the outer edge of your hip there. Exhale your hand back down to the mat. We'll step that back foot in about a foot. Make sure both feet are flat on the mat. Both knees are straight. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Maybe you want to pull that right hip back in space a little bit. Feel the stretch in the back of the hamstring. That's what it is. It's a hamstring. Make sure you're not straining your neck at all. We'll bring that back leg up to meet the front. Forward fold. Hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then we'll inhale, rolling up to stand, vertebrae by vertebrae. And come to a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Get a drink of water, give yourself a shake, and I'll check in with the time. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of your mat, pressing the feet into the ground. We'll inhale the arms up into the air. Exhale the shoulders down. Inhale the fingertips into the sky. Exhale, pretend you're holding a giant beach ball and we'll stretch to the right. Shine that chest towards the ceiling to really elongating your side body here. Equal weight in your hips, equal pressure in your feet. Inhale, back center, and exhale to the other side. Pretending you're holding a giant beach ball, shining the chest towards the ceiling so we can really feel the elongation in the side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward.
Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands. We'll kick that right leg back behind you, coming into a low lunge. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. Inhale your arms up for warrior one. Make sure the outer edge of that back foot is glued to the ground. Hips are square towards the front of the room, and the front knee is bent. Arms are in the air, pulling that belly button towards the spine. Exhaling your hands behind your back, interlace your hands. Doesn't matter which thumb's on top. Inhale to shine your chest towards the ceiling. And then exhale, we'll come down into humble warrior, bringing that left shoulder towards the left knee, and releasing the arms overhead. Breathing here. On your next inhale, you can lift your chest in the air again, shining it towards the ceiling. You can release your hands back up into the air. And then we'll exhale, rotate into a warrior two. Rotating those hips towards the side of the mat. Arms are outstretched in either direction. Adjust your feet if you need to. Make sure your feet are more on railroad tracks instead of a tightrope. You can gaze over your front palm while you reach your arms in both directions. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll pop the front palm over, reach forward and then back to come into reverse warrior. Make sure that front knee is still bent. Equal weight in both feet, nice strong stance. Feel the elongation of the side body, opening up those intercostal muscles. Your next exhale, you can come back into warrior two. Release that knee. Lean forward as far as you can and drop down for triangle. Hand can be on the mat, on your shin or a block. Opening up the arms in either direction. Breathing here. On your next inhale, you can come back to warrior two, arms, bend that front knee again, adjust your stance any way you need to. We'll bring our forearm to the thigh for side angle pose. Opposite arm comes over top. You can shine that chest towards the ceiling and breathe here. Your next exhale, release your arms, windmill them down, release your knee. Adjust your legs so you're in a wide-legged forward fold at the side of your mat. Release the back of your neck, make sure you're not holding any tension there. Pull the crown of the head towards the ground. Maybe on your exhale, you fold a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward, come up on the fingertips for a nice long flat back, wide-legged. And then exhale to fold forward again. We'll walk our hands back towards that left foot. So we're in a low lunge again. This time we'll kick the left foot back to meet the right, so we're in a downward facing dog.
Inhale your heels into the air. Exhale your heels down towards the mat. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. And then exhaling, pushing back, maybe through bent knees, into downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing the leg forward. Help your foot if it needs it. So now we're in a low lunge on the other side. Adjust your stance any way you need to. Want to make sure your hips are pointed towards the front of the mat. And then when you're feeling nice and sturdy and secure, you can inhale up to warrior one. Hips are square towards the front of the mat. Front knee is bent. Back heel is rotated down onto the mat. Arms are in the air. Breathing here. Adjusting your stance any way you need to. Exhale your arms back behind your back. Put the opposite thumb on top you had before. Inhale to shine that chest towards the ceiling. And then exhale your right knee towards, or your right shoulder towards your right knee. Release your neck down. And come into humble warrior. Breathing here, front knee is bent. Outer edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. On your next inhale, shine that chest towards the ceiling. Release your arms into warrior one. And we'll exhale, windmill out your arms. Adjust those hips so they're open towards the side of the mat. Bend that front knee at a 90-degree angle and reach your arms out in either direction. You can gaze over that front knee, front hand. Make sure your knee is tracking over your second toe, that you're not dipping in or out. And breathe here. On your next inhale, you can pop that palm into the air, reach forward and scoop back for reverse warrior. Make sure your front knee is still bent. Make sure you're not dumping your weight in your back arm. And breathe here. When you're ready, you can come back to warrior two. Give that front knee a rest. Reach forward as much as you can and then fall down. Come down for triangle pose. Front arm can be on your shin, on the mat, wherever you'd like, on a block. Reach in either direction. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back into warrior two. Bend that front knee again. This time we'll take our forearm towards the thigh for side angle pose. Other arm comes over top. Reaching in either direction. Reaching overhead, shining that chest towards the ceiling. Breathing here.
When you're ready, you can windmill your arms down and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Breathing here, releasing the crown of your head down to the mat. Placing your fingertips on the ground, coming into a wide-legged, flat back, pulling the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold forward. And then walk your hands over that right foot. From here, we'll kick that front foot back to meet the back, so we're in downward facing dog. Inhale those heels into the air. Exhale, bring them back down to the mat. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Exhale your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling forward for a low cobra. And then exhaling, pressing back into downward facing dog. Breathing here in down dog. On your next inhale, you can step or hop forward. So you have forward fold at the front of your mat. Hands on shins, inhale, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Shake it out, get yourself a drink. Okay, great, perfect. All right, we'll do a few balancing poses. So you can come to mountain pose at the front of your mat. Feet are about hips width distance apart. See if you can just rock forward and back on your feet. Balls of the feet, then the heels of the feet, balls of the feet, heels of the feet, then left and right. Left edges of the feet, right edge of the feet. And then maybe in circles where you can feel all four corners of the feet. Both sides of the heels and both sides of the balls of the feet. Starting with that right leg, press the right leg into the mat nice and strong. Left leg can be kickstanded at the ankle, placed against the calf, or pressed into the inner thigh, whichever you prefer. As long as your knee is not pressing against your foot or your foot against your knee. Breathing here, hands can be at your hips at heart center or branches in the breeze, whichever you prefer. If you're having trouble balancing, pick a spot on the wall that is stationary to stare at. Just work on your balance, holding that belly button towards the spine, holding in Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. When you're ready, you can release your hands, release your foot from your leg. Bring that knee forward, kick your legs straight out, bring that heel up a little bit, then maybe a little more, then maybe a little more, and then let it go. Shake out your standing leg, maybe give your outside muscles a little bit of a rub. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Standing with your feet hips width distance apart.
See if you can press into the ground. Maybe do a brief kind of roll back and forth to feel all those four corners of the feet again. And then press that left foot into the ground. Right heel can kickstand against the ankle. You can place your foot on the calf, or you can bring your heel up to your inner thigh, pressing heel against inner thigh and inner thigh against heel. Hands can be at your hips at heart center, or they can be branches blowing in the wind, whichever you prefer. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Pull in your root chakra. And if you're having trouble balancing, stare at a fixed point on the wall or some place in front of you that's fixed. That is not me. And if you fall out of it, just come back in. No big deal. And on your next exhale, you can release your hands. You can bring that knee forward, straighten out your leg, lift that heel again, and then release. Let it go. Give yourself a little shake out. All right, standing in mountain pose again. Feet are hips width distance apart. We're gonna inhale the arms up in the air. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, folding forward again. Place your hands on the mat. Take your right leg back behind you. Bring your left leg back behind you. So now you're in a downward facing dog. Inhale those heels into the air again. Exhale them down, reaching towards the mat. Breathing here. On your next inhale, bring the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the heel towards the bum. Inhale, open up the hips. And then exhale, sweep that leg towards the front of the mat. Bring the shin so that it's parallel to the front. Flex your front foot, straighten out that back leg so it's nice and straight behind you. Give yourself any additional support you may need. And then exhale, roll down the spine and bring your forehead to the mat for pigeon pose. Breathing here. Letting go of any unnecessary tension in your shoulders, in your back, in your jaw or neck. And on your next inhale, you can lift up your head, you can walk your hands back, maybe to where they were. You can come into a tabletop pose, tuck those toes under, and come back into a downward facing dog. Breathing here in down dog, lifting those heels into the air. On an inhale, exhaling them down to the mat. We'll inhale the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. And then exhale, bend that knee, pull the heel towards the bone. Inhale, open up the hips. Exhale, swing that shin forward towards the mat. You can reach that back leg back behind you. Make sure your front foot is flexed. And then exhale, roll down the spine, placing the forehead on the mat or a block or your hands. Seeing if you can release any unnecessary tension, maybe in the back of your neck or your jaw, maybe in the back of your thighs or your glutes. Breathing into those outer hips. On your next inhale, you can walk your fingertips back. You can adjust yourself so you can come comfortably back into a tabletop pose. And we'll just rest our bum on our heels and come into a child's pose. Feel the elongation in the back body here. Reach that tailbone down, relax your neck. Breathe here. And when you're ready, we'll just wiggle our way. So we're laying on our stomachs on the mat. Okay. And then you can roll onto your back. And just like we started class, we'll try to elongate that top of your head, the crown of your head, pulling that spine long. Maybe you knock your knees in together. Maybe windshield wiper them back and forth. Open up and release all that tension that maybe is hanging on from pigeon. And when you're ready, we'll place our left foot on the mat. Right ankle comes to left knee. Lift the left leg in the air so that both feet are flexed. The knee is at a 90-degree angle and the shin is parallel to the mat. You can lace your hands back behind your thigh and pull that thigh towards you. you'd like an added stretch here, you can take your right elbow to your right knee and press those away from you as you pull your left thigh towards you. You can also gently kind of rock back and forth. Maybe if you can find a spot in your outer hip that's maybe a little bit more stuck or sore, and you can really get into that spot. You can just breathe here. When you're ready, you can release your hands from your leg. Go ahead and switch the crossing. Right foot flat on the ground. Left ankle comes to right knee. Lift that right leg in the air so that the knee is bent and the shin is parallel to the ground. Lace your arms back behind that thigh. You can pull the thigh towards you while you bring your left elbow to your left knee and press it away from you. Again, if you'd like to rock back and forth gently, finding a spot that's more stuck, more sore, more in need of stretching, you can do that. When you've had enough of that, you can release your thigh, release your legs back to the mat. Give yourself a little windshield wiper back and forth. And we'll place the feet on the ground just so your fingertips can graze the back of your heels. We'll come into a bridge pose. Inhaling your hips up into the air. Reaching them towards the sky. You can wiggle your shoulders underneath. You can interlace your hands behind your back. Pressing into the bottoms of the feet. Pushing those hips into the air. Release your hands, release your shoulders, roll your back down to the mat. Go ahead and windshield wiper those legs again, back and forth. This time you can hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little back massage. When you're ready, you can just drop them down to one side, crossing your legs if you'd like to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Both shoulders are on the mat. Your hands can be to the side, above you. You can have one hand on your knee, one out to the side. Your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over the opposite shoulder from your legs. Breathing here. On your next inhale, you can bring those knees back to center. Give yourself a nice little massage again. And exhale them, release the legs back to the other side. Both shoulders and one hip are on the mat. Hands could be out to the side. You place your hand on your knee. They can be above your head, whatever you're comfortable with. Breathing here. And on your next inhale, you can bring your knees back to center. Give yourself a little rock back and forth. And then before we settle into Shavasana, you have the option of either bringing your legs up for a nice gentle inversion, or you can reach for your inner arches of your feet and come into a happy baby, pulling those knees towards your elbows, rocking back and forth if you'd like. Option in happy baby to bend one knee in and straighten the other leg out. Make sure you do both sides. And as you finish up, whatever last minute little moves you want to get in, you can start to deepen your breath and relax into Shavasana.
can begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. And introduce small movements in your fingers and toes. You can roll onto one side using your arm as a pillow. Rest in the fetal position for one breath. Using the same slow quality of movement, you can come up to a comfortable seat. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. You can do one last rub together of your palms, building up that heat and friction. And then go ahead and place those hands anywhere on your body where you feel like maybe you need some extra love. And we'll close with one Om. You can leave your hands where you are, bring them towards heart center, whatever you prefer. Breathing in for Om. Om. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be free from suffering. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.